Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 10 of the Sheesh Racing League here in France. We only have 7 drivers today, but it'll still hopefully be a good race for you guys. So now, taking a look at this track, I actually haven't gone on it. I haven't really seen it, but just looking at the map and just watching these guys take a few laps here. It's a fairly long straight track, as you see there. Sector 2. Straight there, sector 2. Then there's a bit of a turn. I don't know what I'd really call that. Just a turn, I guess, not really any specific name for it. Into sector 3 and another straight. And then they come around that bend, and there's a few twists there. And there's a bit of a sharper one there in the middle of sector 3. And then leading up into sector 1 is another straight again. And even sector 1 is almost a straight. So I think this is going to be a fairly fast track, fairly fast pace. So I guess we'll see once we get into it. And right now we're still in qualifying laps, and nobody has actually set a time yet. There's just 14 minutes left in qualifying. So while our drivers make their way around the track and try to set themselves a time, I'm going to run through the standings with you guys. Of course, that is over on SheeshRacingLeague.com. So I'm going to go through the driver standings first. And in first place, we have C. Burton 91 with 123 points. RP Cameron with 120 points. Cam M15 with 85 points. Lucy Loco with 80 points. The Kid Zico with 79 points. 6th is Gunslinger, 75 points. Then it's Wild Die 9, 50 points. Then it's OJD Gaming, 37 points. Then it's Smith, 34 points. 1 point behind him in 10th is Matty, 33 points. Then in 11th is BFG, 28 points. 12th is Stigmatic Drip, 24 points. 13th is Slim Omnivore, 19 points. 14th is Mad Max with 16 points. 15 is GDB with 10 points. 16th is Nick Deeney with 4 points. And then tied with him is Gerbs and T-Rex, both with 4 points as well. So taking a look back up here, Cam M15 has set the fastest lap, 132.0, and close behind him, BFG, 132.1. And those are the only 2 drivers that have set a time so far. And now back to the standings. Now going to go through the constructor standings. So in first place is BWT Racing Point, consisting of C. Burton 91 and RP Cameron, for a total of 243 points. Then way behind in second is Red Bull Racing, consisting of Cam M15 and Matty, 118 points. Then only 10 behind them in third is the Mercedes team, Lutzi and BFG, 108 points. Then in fourth is AlphaTauri with Gunslinger and Stigmatic Drip, 99 points. Fifth is the Haas F1 team, consisting of the Kid Zico and Gerbs, 83 points. In sixth is Williams with Wild Die 9 and Mad Max, 66 points. And then in seventh is McLaren, Slim Omnivore and Smith, 53 points. And then in eighth is Alfa Romeo with OJD and GDB, 35 points. And then in ninth is T-Rex and Nick Deeney with 4 points. So those are your standings so far in the Sheesh Racing League. And of course, that is over on SheeshRacingLeague.com, where you can find everything you need to know about the Sheesh Racing League, including standings like I just went through. Also, past race results. You can also find the league rulebook. There is a place to contact the league owner if need be. And there are also some clips and just some updates for different things on there as well. Speaking of that, you can also follow our socials. We are on Instagram, Sheesh Racing League, or at Sheesh_F1_Racing League, where we again also post highlights, crashes, maybe saves from crashes, all sorts of stuff on there. You can go check it out. And we're right here on YouTube, obviously. If you're not subscribed already, be sure to do that, of course, and support us. We stream every Saturday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we also have a Twitch, which is the same thing, Sheesh Racing League. However, we don't use it all that much. It is just a backup But with that being said, it's a good idea to just at least keep that in mind. So that way, if there's ever a Saturday where you don't find a stream here and there's no announcement about it, we're probably over on Twitch, and that would be because of an incident, something happened with YouTube possibly, and that'd be the only reason we use Twitch. This is a backup for us in case anything goes wrong here on YouTube. But be sure to follow us on all of those platforms. And also, just one thing I forgot to mention. Over on the SheeshRacingLeague.com, on the website, you can also find links to some of the drivers, or at least two of the drivers that stream sometimes. One for sure. So you can find things like that on there as well. So it's just a good place to go and check things out if you're a fan of the league, because there's just more info for you. So now again, looking back up at my screen here, things have changed. Wild Eye 9 is now in first with a 130.6. Behind him in second is C Burton 91 with a 130.7. Then in third, it's Cam still holding his 132.0. And then BFG still holding his 132.1. And then in fifth is Maddie, 133.4. And then RP Cameron and Gunslinger still have yet to set themselves a time. In case any of you were wondering, we are here on board with Cam M15, currently in third place and trying to set a quicker time for himself here. And that's who you're watching. We're in the TV pod with him. Wild Eye 9, BFG, and Maddie are all in the pit lane. And then Cam here, C. Burton, Cameron, and Gunslinger are all out on the track. Cam M15 just crossed the finish line there a moment ago. Didn't set any quicker of a lap for himself. And he just went off the track too much there and invalidated this one. So he's just going to cut the track and get back there as quick as he can to either go into the pits or try again, since this lap's already invalidated anyway. And now Gunslinger's in the pits as well, so no time for him yet, but he still has 7 minutes here in qualifying. So there's no rush for him yet, I suppose. And KM15 is really just hauling it, trying to get back to the starting point so he can, like I said, either do a new lap or just go into the pits. And with all this stuff he's hitting, he might need to fix a wing there. Something going on there behind him. I think that's just either Steve Burton or Cameron just sitting in the middle of the track. It must be Cameron. Yeah, it is. I'm not sure what he's doing donuts by the looks of it. Yep. Don't know if he's trying to grab our attention or not, but if he is, it's working. You see him there, just kind of in the middle of Sector 3 in that turn. If you look on the right, look at the bottom of the track map there, you can see his arrow spinning in circles. I don't know, maybe he's just maybe he's having fun ruining his tires. It beats me what he's trying to do there, but if he's trying to get us to see him, it worked. So there you go, Cameron. There's your few seconds of fame on the main stream here. Let's hope that that showboating doesn't come into the race and affect you there. Make sure you don't do anything like that during the race, and ruin it for yourself. Don't want to get caught being hot-headed once the race actually starts. So that usually is a recipe for disaster. 5 minutes left to go here in qualifying time, round 10 of Sheesh Racing League in France. And I guess I'll introduce myself. I forgot to do that at the start. Once again, I'm Aiden Potty, and I'll be your host for today. Shumi is not with me this time. However, I'm still here, like usual. So you'll get to deal with me. And that's about it, really. You'll get to hear my voice today. If any of these drivers wreck, they might hop up in the booth with us. Let's hope that doesn't happen, though. Because even though that would be good for you guys, get a change of voice here in the booth, wouldn't be good for the driver. And they might not have the best attitude coming in here after a wreck. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But we're here watching Gunslinger. Everybody's still in the pits except him, so we don't really have a choice. So we'll stay on board here with Gunslinger. And I'll just leave you at that for now. Round 10 Sheesh Racing League France. 3:55 to go in qualifying. So let's see what Gunslinger sets here. It's going to be his first time of qualifying. And it is... Whoa, 130.2 all the way up into first. He goes and bumps everybody down a spot. That's not too bad, eh? First run around the track and he sets the fastest time. Can't complain about that. A minute 30 left to go here in qualifying, and Cam M15 and Maddie are both out on the track, the only two out on the track at the moment, but they're running out of time to try and bump up a spot. Regardless, they're going to try anyway. Both of them are on medium tires, it looks like. I'm not so sure about Maddie there. Is he on mediums or is he on hards? Nope, he's on mediums as well. Alrighty, so yes, both of them are on mediums now. C. Burton comes out. I guess he's just going to take a lap around. Again, only a minute left, so these guys don't have a whole lot of time. Being that, if you look at the times there at the grid, all the times are a minute and a half or higher. But if you're out on the track in the middle of a lap, the game will let you go around once qualifying time runs out, as long as you haven't crossed the finish line. So we'll let you keep going, so you can still set a time, actually. So, I mean, I guess that's what they're trying to do, but they also have to get out of their outlap first, which I don't think C. Burton's going to be able to do. And I believe, looking at the map there, he's just cutting the track and then validating his time anyway, so not going to affect anything for him. We're on board with Cam M15. And he's going to set a time here. Let's see, is it going to be better than what he has? Or no, never mind, my apologies, that was his outlap. So yeah, he gets there in time though, and Maddie does as well. So 10 seconds left. C. Burton's going to have to cross that line in 5 seconds, and judging by where he is, that's not going to happen. And yeah, that doesn't happen. He didn't get across in time. Cam just went right into the wall or something there. I'm not sure what happened. I think he reset before he actually hit the wall. It wouldn't have affected his race anyway. Just would have sent him back to the pits now, which isn't a big deal. But he's just kind of messing around. So we go over to Matty, and we're gonna see if he can set a better time. You got 2 minutes and 30 seconds to get around. He's coming to sector 3, so plenty of time. And whatever time he sets here, if it's better than his 133.4, it will count. So he bumped up a few spots there. He goes up into 4th after being in 6th, I think? Maybe 7th? I don't remember for sure. So yeah, he was in 6th, he went up to 4th. So he bumped himself up 2 places and bumped BFG and his teammate Cam down a spot each. Cameron never brought up the set of time. He had a 5-place grid penalty coming into this one. That's probably why he didn't bother to set a time for himself. Wouldn't have made much of a difference. He would have had to, especially with this this small amount of racers. He would have had to made first to even have it count. Otherwise, he would have been in 7th anyway. So not a big deal for him there. So we're just coming into the race here. We're gonna do the formation lap, and when we do, I'll run you guys through the grid. But everybody's got to load in right quick, so I'll just wait for them to do that, and just remind you that we are in France, round 10. Get a nice view of the pit lane here, and you can actually see some of the things there. Right, the one in front is the Mercedes pit, and you can see that BFG spot is up there. Then it's Ferrari, nobody racing for them today. The next one after that, I can't see it well, but I think it might be Red Bull, but I'm not quite sure. And that's all I can see. After that, it's just everything's just too far away. That one might have been Red Bull, I don't know. But here we go. We're going into formation lap, so now I can actually have something valuable to talk about, and it's the grid. So in P1 we have Seaburton 91, and that changed. Gunslinger had a penalty, that's why you see him in a different spot. So Seaburton 91 in P1, beside him in P2 is Wild Die 9, in P3 is Matty, in P4 is Cam M15, P5 is BFG, P6 is Gunslinger, and P7 is Cameron. So Gunslinger must have had a 5-place grid penalty as well, because he was in 1st and now he's all the way down to 6th. Cameron, same thing, and he just didn't even bother to set a time. And like I said, with this little amount of racers, really doesn't make a difference. I mean, as you saw, Gunslinger there, he got himself first, and because of his penalty, he's all the way down to 6th anyway. So 1 place isn't that big of a deal. And I know for Cameron, he doesn't mind too much. He'd rather probably save his tires for the race, and because he knows he has the ability to catch up, and that he does. So when you see him swerving back and forth on the track like that, it is actually to warm up their tires, just so that they have better traction once the race starts, and they can get better speed right off the jump. And also, same as they'll brake hard every now and then. That's also to warm the brakes up. So just getting the car warmed up, getting it ready to race, and just getting themselves prepared as well. Just getting loose. Don't want to get too nervous, and they're just loosening themselves up and getting ready for the race to start. And they're just coming around the bends here in sector 3. I guess that's what I'll call them for now. but I'm actually going to try and figure out what those are called while our guys get back to the grid. Now on come the red lights. 4, 5. And off they go. And the race has begun. Round 10, France, Sheesh Racing League. And already some damage there. And Wild Die 9 is out of the session just like that. So that was quick. I'm not sure what happened there. If he got bumped or not, I didn't really get a good look at it. But he's out. So virtual safety car comes out. BFG got a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Maddie. And this race is off to a hot start, a hot mess at least. So, yeah, wow. BFG's already got a 5-second time penalty, and Wild Die's already out of the race. I'm assuming he got hit by somebody, but he also might have just hit the gas too hard and lost control immediately. I'm not really sure. But regardless, he's out, and there's a virtual safety car now. So we're down to 6 drivers in lap 1, and we're not even halfway through the track. Safety car is gone, so now they can race at full speed. And there they go. Now let everybody get a little bit situated before I move them around too much. And then if anybody's still close after a few seconds, then I will I'll go watch the battles, I guess. Maddie seems to be pretty close to Cam there by the looks of it. Not really. Okay. Gonna ignore that then. So yeah, this is why I just kind of, I'll watch the leader, let him get situated, and let everybody else get situated, and then once people start to space out, if there's still any battles after that, that's when I'll tune in and watch. And Maddie hits the pits. And Seaburton sets the fastest time, 1:45.2. Mind you, it is lap 1, so that will change plenty of times, I imagine, throughout the race. So Maddie and BFG are both in the pits, and they're the two that collided, so they probably each had some damage on them. Cameron is getting pretty close to Cam, so I'll go down into his TV pod and watch this battle. Cameron is on mediums, Cam is on softs, and Cameron is trying to pass him on the straight here, sector 2, and he's coming up to a left turn, so he's going to have the inside on Cam, and yeah, he gets the overtake there, and up into 3rd he goes, down into 4th goes Cam. So let's go down to Cam now, because he's still fairly close to Cameron. He's just going to want that spot back. Let's see what he can do. And Cameron 15 is a hard guy to get around, actually. He's a very defensive driver. And if you're behind him, sometimes it can be hard to get past him, and it can be infuriating, and some drivers tend to lose their temper. But Cameron actually got past him fairly easily there, it seems. And he's now gaining on Cam, so I'm just going to head right back up to our leader, Seaburton. Seaburton, and then RP Cameron 1:33.2, fastest lap. Before I could even see what Cole's was, Cameron set a new one. So there you go. And now we're going to be in the TV pot of Cameron, who is, well, was close behind Gunslinger, but Gunslinger kind of just took off on him. Gunslinger on soft, possibly why he got so much of a gap there on Cameron. But Cameron's still holding his own, staying pretty close. And there he goes, past Gunslinger into a left turn. and gets him. Even though he's on the outside for that turn, he gets past him, overtake. So C. Burton 91 and Cameron, the two BWT Racing Point teammates, in first and second just like that. Let's go down to Gunslinger. Nope. Down to Gunslinger if I can press the right button. Because he's still pretty close to Cameron, and Gunslinger himself is a good driver, so he might make that. He might make it up. He might take that spot right back quicker than you might think. And I guess, nah, Cameron's kind of gaining on him. So now I actually want to go up to C. Burton, so that's what I'm going to do. Cameron 15 now in the pits. So we just got some info from Wild Die 9, and he's pretty angry at himself. So I'm thinking that he just, like I said, hit the gas too hard and spun himself out right off the jump, and ended his own race. Because he just seems to be angry with himself. He didn't say anything about any of the other drivers or any bumps or anything that even could have been accidental, other than himself being a little too careless, I guess, and just making a fatal mistake. Whoa, there goes C. Burton. Speaking of fatal mistakes, he spins out. There's a lot of room to move there on that part of the track, so he didn't wreck, but he went way off there and went down to third. His teammate Cameron passed him, and Gunslinger did as well. So I'm going to jump up to Cameron now, and C. Burton will do that from time to time. You'll see him in first, and then all of a sudden he'll drop down, and you're like, what happened? And nothing happened. He just got carried away and took himself out one way or another, spun out like that, or went too hard into a corner, or braked too late. He always finds a way to make his own race interesting. And he actually just picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So you see BFG BFG already served his penalty when he went into the pits. Now that I know what I'm trying to say. So his is gone. His has been served. C. Burton has a 3-second one to his name there. And if he goes into the pits soon enough, it'll serve it on its own, I believe. Or maybe he can choose to serve it or not. I'm not sure how that works completely. But regardless, he has a 3-second time penalty to his name. So since there isn't a whole lot going on here at the moment, I'm going to actually go back over to SheeshRacingLeague.com and run you guys through last week's results. They raced in Canada for round 9, So I'm going to run you through the standings there. Tell you who made the podium and who fell short. And who fell very short. So, just loads up here. And so, the podium last week was, first was right here, RP Cameron. Second was Smith, who isn't racing today. And third was Cam M15, who was in fourth. Falling just short was OJD in fourth. Behind him was Maddie in fifth. And Stigmatic Drip in sixth. Wild Eye 9 in seventh. And C. Burton in eighth. He DNF'd. He did not finish, obviously, but DNF'd as in he got wrecked or something like that. It wasn't a disqualification. He just didn't cross the finish line. So Maddie is kind of getting close there with Cam, but they're teammates, so I don't think there'll be a whole lot of a push here, a whole lot of a battle. And Gunslinger hit the pits. So I'll go down and I'll go to the TV pot of Maddie for now, I guess. But I don't think there's going to be too much drama here, and Cam is just kind of taking off on him anyway. So now Seaburton also in the pit, so he might serve that penalty. Or no, sorry. Never mind, I got confused. Gunslinger came out of the pits and I saw his square pop up there and just confused me. So no, never mind. No penalties being served. Gunslinger has one to his name. I'm not sure what that's for. I missed that. I must have missed when that one came in. But Seaburton, I know it's a 3-second for multiple warnings. See, I'm not really sure when Gunslinger picked that one up. But as you see there, I know Gunslinger just came out of the pit stops anyway, but Seaburton is back in second after spinning himself out. And even though it's his teammate in first, I know if he gets the chance to, he will make sure that he gets that spot back, even from his teammate. It's times like these that I wish I had a partner in crime here to announce with me, because I run out of things to say, and I'm not overly well versed in racing or in F1. So I very quickly run out of things to say. If there's nothing going on the track, I kind of lose my train of thought. I just don't have a train of thought to begin with. I lose things that I want to mention. I just run out of things to talk about, which makes for a boring stream for you guys, and because I just gotta kind of hope that things like this happen, battles. Right now, Seaburton and Cam, but like if this isn't going on, Seaburton tries to go for the pass there on the outside, and he gets it done. Seaburton hops back up into third, Cam down into fourth, still close behind him. But yeah, it's just, like I said, I'm not overly well versed in F1. I'm getting better. I'm trying to learn more. But when there's not a whole lot going on the track, I really don't know what to talk about. And Like I said, it just makes for a boring time for you guys, and I apologize for that. And I don't want to just talk about random things either. I do want to keep your attention on the race, because I mean, really, that is the important part. That is why we stream. That is why we race. For you guys to watch and enjoy, and the drivers, of course, race. Just they race to win. They race for fun, but also the stream is for you, for the viewers. So when it's a quiet race like this one, and you have somebody inexperienced in the booth like me, I can understand how boring it gets, and I just want to apologize for that. But I also, at the same time, don't really know what else I can do. Camp 15 just got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings there. See, Burton just picked himself up another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so he's got 2 to his name now. Cameron just picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so now 4 of our 6 drivers have a penalty to their name. And Maddie and BFG actually both did earlier, but they served it when they hit the pits. Actually, correction, BFG had a penalty. Maddie didn't. Maddie just had to hit the pits because he was involved in the collision with BFG. that gave BFG the time penalty. But yeah, no, Matt is the only driver that hasn't picked up a penalty yet in the race. And him and BFG are the only two that don't have one to their names now. And as I say that, C. Burton picks himself up another one, 3 seconds for multiple warnings yet again. RP Cameron just set the fastest lap of the race so far, 1:30.8. He set that on softs. We're currently watching him. Our leader set that on softs. VWT Racing Point driver. And now Matty hits the pits. Gunslinger just got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as well. So Gunslinger hits the pits, and that allows C. Burton to hop into second. Well, folks, we're here in lap 16 of 27. Sheesh Racing League Round 10 in France. And I know it's been a pretty quiet stream. I don't know. I haven't had a whole lot to say, but I do have some more information on Wild Die 9. After a rough start to today's race, putting himself out right on the finish line, or the starting line, I suppose. He put himself out of the race immediately, spun out into a wall, and that was enough for him. He's thrown in the towel, and he's done. And by that I mean he is done. He's out of the league. He retired from the league, and he's calling it quits. That's it for his racing career here in the Sheesh Racing League, and probably in every league. Based off of what he said, he's not too happy with himself, and I think he's just done. You never know. He could pull a Brett Favre and come out of retirement. Who knows? But for now, that's all she wrote for Wild Die 9. C. Burton 91 and Cannon 15 both hit the pits, so that might drop them down a spot or two. We'll see. And Cameron 15 drops down a spot, but no, C. Burton's 45, or no, never mind. He's 45 seconds behind Cameron, so he drops down a spot as well. So he's down to third, Gunslinger up into second, and C. Burton just picked up another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings right out of the pits. Finally, a little bit of excitement here. C. Burton is looking to take a second back from Gunslinger. Both of them on mediums. C. Burton's are a little bit new. He just came out of the pits. Gunslingers are, I believe, 2 or 3 laps old, maybe even older. And so we're going into the chicane. And now out into the straight of Sector 3. Or leading into Sector 3 at least. Right now, the biggest gap is between Gunslinger and Cameron. A 46-second gap between first and second, and the shortest is what we're watching right here, C. Burton, which at the moment is 0.4. C. Burton spins out, saves it, just grazes the wall there, and don't know if that even did. Doesn't look like that even did any front wing damage. He really did a good job to keep himself from being out of the race there. That was spectacular from him. Not so much the spinning out part in the first place, but to save it is that was really something. Cameron gets a little loose there and goes off the track, but that was a spot where he had plenty of room, so not really any worry about wrecking off. It was losing some time, but he is largely ahead of Gunslinger, 28 seconds still even after that, so didn't cost him anything really. And now Cameron picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. When we're here in lap 21 out of 27, round 10 of the Sheesh Racing League in France. The largest gap right now is between Cameron and Gunslinger, first and second, 26 seconds. And the smallest is between fourth and fifth, Maddie and Cam, and that is a 1.1. So we're going to send us on down to Cam 15, who's close behind Maddie, but they are teammates, so I don't think there's going to be much of a battle here. I feel like if Cam's going to get the chance to pass, Maddie's just going to let him pass. It'd be dumb to actually try and go for something and possibly put one or the other out of the race, being that they're teammates. Gunslinger just picked up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. But yeah, I'd say if Cam gets the chance, Maddie will probably let him pass. Like I said, they're teammates, and this wouldn't make much sense for them to actually try to battle this out. As if either of them clip each other, one or both of them could be out of the race, and they just screw themselves over really, because they're on the same team, Red Bull Racing. So all it would do is hurt their constructor points, their constructor standings. But I'll leave you on down here with Cam regardless, because really there isn't anything else going on. And so yeah, Maddie just lets Cam pass. A little bit of a miscommunication there, Cam slightly bumped him in the back, didn't really affect anything. I don't think it did any damage to Cam's car, and it definitely didn't do any damage to Maddie's car. So yeah, no, nothing really happened out of that, just a little miscommunication, but nothing major, and yeah, Maddie just lets Cam get the pass there. And BFG just picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so now Maddie is the only driver on the course yet to receive a time penalty. So C. Burton is getting pretty close to Gunslinger here. 0.5 seconds behind him, gaining on him with only 3 laps to go. Both of them on mediums, but C. Burton's are fresher tires. So we'll see what happens here. And he's going to go for the pass on the outside of this turn. I don't think he's going to be able to get it done. Yeah, oh, and he goes too hard. Puts Gunslinger out. He slides off the track, but didn't end his race or anything. And he also took off his own front wing with that. So there's a collision. Yellow flag came out. Cameron just retired from the session. I don't know if he lost connection or what happened there, but his AI will take over. And yeah, that's pretty bad there. That wasn't intentional. He wasn't trying to wreck Gunslinger, but he wanted that pass a little too much, and took off his front right end plate, and also put Gunslinger way off to the side of the track. And now he's in second with 2 laps to go. So I don't know if he's going to make up for that or not. And now RP Cameron, who just did not finish, is now in a booth with us. You want to walk us through what happened there? What happened to your race?
Alright, so I mean, I was watching your guys' stream because Cole said there was contact between him and Gunslinger, and then I absolutely smoked the wall because I wasn't watching where it was going. So,
Yikes.
Yeah, so there's good 26 points going down the toilet. So, yeah.
But yeah, Cole kind of went for the pass a little too hard and ran into the front right or the front left tire of Gunslinger, knocked his own front right end plate off. Gunslinger went off the track, and C. Burton just scooped up first place anyway. he did a reset to go right back onto the track and took Gunslinger's spot. Now, what we don't want C. Burton to do is we don't really want him to make up or try to make up for his mistake there and try to let Gunslinger pass him, because it's not up to C. Burton to do that. It's not up to him to make up for his own mistake. That will be sorted out after the race by the officials. Because if we take a look at last week's race, that happened with actually Cameron here and OJD, who isn't driving today. But OJD had a little contact with Cameron earlier in the race and felt bad about it and tried to make up for it himself by letting Cameron pass, and ended up in a bit of a wreck. Cameron hit him, kind of went into the wall, and OJD wasn't happy about it, and he wasn't happy with Cameron, but at the same time, like I said, it's not up to the driver to make up for their own mistake. If they make a mistake like that, they can race all they want, and they can do what C. Burton's doing, just keep going, take the place from Gunslinger, but at the end of the race, once everything's sorted out, he's probably not going to maintain that spot. Things will probably be moved around penalty-wise, and Gunslinger will probably end up taking his rightful place anyway. And Gunslinger is out. DNF. He's out of the race as well. So we have 4 drivers left here in the last lap. And 3 of them have time penalties. So this is going to be a weird one at the end. So C. Burton just crosses the finish line, and that is it for his race. Maddie and Cam and BFG are all just making their way around the track to cross it as well, and that'll be it for round 10 of the Sheesh Racing League here in France. And we'll see what happens at the end. I think the race itself, the game itself, are going to show C. Burton, Maddie, Cam 1, 2, 3. But as far as how these standings and the actual results go, league-wise, that'll be changed.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, here we have C. Burton up in the booth with us, and race is just about over. BFG is coming around that last turn.
Absolute gifts. Christmas came late to me. Holy.
Well, that's the thing. There's going to be some confusion there because that incident with Gunslinger really should have had him up front, but since he went out of the race anyway, DNF, that's going to affect it.
Hey man, he would have had the win if he just stayed on the track. I held my line when we got together, so.
Yeah, I would have had the win if I stayed on the track.
I don't know. Cole, you didn't really hold your line. You kind of went down on him.
No, it's how the track goes, buddy. It's just, it closes in. I can't go out on the runoff or I have no grip. Gunslinger didn't take the apex. He stayed up 3 lanes. I stayed in the second lane. It's not really, like... I don't know. I got it streamed, so does Gunslinger, I guess.
So you hear.
I watched the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, where are we next week?
Austria.
Austria. So there you go. Next week, next Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always, we'll be in Austria for round 11 of the Sheesh Racing League. So that does it for round 10 in France. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next Saturday.